The Spartan mirage, a city of legends. Ancient Greece, a land of philosophers, poets, and artists. But in the rugged Peloponnese, a different breed thrived, the Spartans. Shrouded in myth and legend, Sparta ignites our imagination. They were warriors, pure and simple. Their discipline and martial prowess remain unmatched. Even today, the mere mention of Sparta conjures images of unwavering courage and military might. Sparta was more than just a city. It was an idea, a symbol of unwavering dedication to strength and discipline. Leonidas, the Lion King, facing the Persian hordes at Thermopylae. Stories of Spartan mothers bidding their sons to return with their shields or on them. We'll separate fact from fiction, exploring their rigorous training, social structure, and military triumphs. Birth of a warrior. Life in the shadow of Taygetus. Imagine being born into a world where your worth is measured by your strength, where weakness is not tolerated. This was the reality for every Spartan citizen. From the moment of birth, their destiny was clear: to be a warrior, to live and die for Sparta. Spartan society was rigidly structured. At the top were the Spartiates, the full citizens who dedicated their lives to warfare. Below them were the Perioeci, free non-citizens who engaged in crafts and trade. At the bottom were the Helots, a subjugated population that vastly outnumbered the Spartans. This system, though inherently unequal, was the bedrock of Spartan power. At the tender age of 7, they were ripped from their families and thrust into the agoge. The Spartan system, though undeniably cruel, produced warriors of unparalleled skill and discipline. Agoge, the crucible of Spartan steel, the agoge. The very word struck fear into the hearts of Spartan children. It was more than just a training program, it was a way of life. From age 7 to 20, Spartan boys endured a brutal and unforgiving regimen designed to forge them into the ultimate warriors. Imagine this: you are 7 years old, torn from your mother's arms and thrown into a world of pain and hardship. You are stripped naked, given a single cloak to wear, and forced to sleep on the cold, hard ground. Your diet is meager, designed to make you lean and hungry. You are taught to fight, to kill, and to obey without question. Boys were grouped into units, their loyalty to their comrades paramount. They were pitted against each other in brutal competitions, taught to value strength, cunning, and ruthlessness above all else. They learned to endure pain, to ignore hunger and fatigue, and to fight with every ounce of their being. Spartan women, a different kind of strength. While Spartan men trained for war, Spartan women played a unique and vital role in their society. Far from being relegated to the shadows, Spartan women enjoyed a level of freedom and agency unheard of in the ancient world. Spartan mothers bore the heavy responsibility of raising the future warriors of Sparta. They instilled in their sons the values of courage, discipline, and unwavering loyalty to the state. Unlike their Athenian counterparts, Spartan women were educated. They engaged in physical training, learned to read and write, and were allowed to own property. This independence fostered a strong sense of self-reliance and contributed to the stability of Spartan society. The strength of Spartan women lay not in wielding weapons, but in their unwavering support of the Spartan system. They were the backbone of Spartan society, ensuring the continuity of their unique way of life. The Spartan army was a sight to behold. Imagine ranks of hoplites, their bronze armor gleaming in the sun, advancing with unwavering discipline. Each soldier, a product of years of grueling training, fought not as an individual but as part of a well-oiled machine. The core of the Spartan army was the phalanx, a tightly packed formation of heavily armed infantry. Each hoplite carried a large round shield, a short sword, and a long spear. They fought shoulder to shoulder, their shields interlocked, presenting an impenetrable wall of bronze to the enemy. Spartan discipline and training were evident on the battlefield. They advanced at a steady pace, their lines unwavering even under the heaviest enemy fire. Their laconic wit, exemplified by their response to the Persian threat at Thermopylae, "Then we will fight in the shade," underscored their bravery and their disdain for fear. Their military prowess, honed over centuries of warfare, made Sparta a dominant force in ancient Greece. The year is 480 BC. The Persian Empire, a vast and seemingly unstoppable force, has set its sights on Greece. At the narrow pass of Thermopylae, a small force of Greeks, led by the Spartan king Leonidas, makes a stand for freedom. Among the Greeks, 300 Spartans stood ready to face the Persian onslaught. They knew the odds were stacked against them. They knew that death was almost certain, yet they did not waver. For 3 days, the Spartans held the pass, repelling wave after wave of Persian attacks. Their discipline, their training, their unwavering courage, all came to the fore in those fateful hours. Surrounded, facing certain death, Leonidas and his 300 Spartans fought to the last man. For centuries, Sparta stood as a bastion of military might, but even the strongest walls crumble over time. Internal strife, changing social dynamics, and the rise of new military powers all contributed to Sparta's slow decline. The rigid Spartan system, so effective in molding warriors, proved inflexible in the face of change. The population of Spartiates, the elite warrior class, dwindled over time. This decline, coupled with their reluctance to change their ways, gradually eroded their military dominance. The Battle of Leuctra in 371 BC marked a turning point in Spartan history. Their defeat at the hands of the Thebans shattered the aura of Spartan invincibility. It exposed the limitations of the Spartan phalanx against new military tactics and signaled the end of their dominance in Greece. Internal divisions further weakened Sparta. The once rigid social hierarchy began to crumble, leading to unrest and instability. Despite their decline, Sparta never entirely faded from prominence. Though Sparta's political and military might waned, their legend lived on. Their story, a potent mix of discipline, sacrifice, and martial prowess, continued to captivate the imagination. The Romans, who conquered Greece and absorbed much of its culture, were fascinated by Sparta. They admired Spartan discipline, their simple way of life, and their unwavering dedication to duty. Roman writers and philosophers often use Sparta as an example of a virtuous and well-ordered society. Throughout history, Sparta has served as both a model and a cautionary tale. Their military prowess has inspired countless generations of soldiers, while their rigid social system and reliance on slavery have drawn criticism. The image of the Spartan warrior standing firm against overwhelming odds has become an enduring symbol of courage and self-sacrifice. Their legacy is complex and multifaceted. What lessons can we, citizens of the 21st century, draw from a society as seemingly alien as ancient Sparta? While their rigid social structure and emphasis on warfare hold little appeal today, certain aspects of the Spartan ethos resonate even now. The Spartan emphasis on discipline, physical fitness, and self-sacrifice offers valuable lessons for our own time. In a world often characterized by instant gratification and a lack of personal responsibility, the Spartan values of hard work, dedication, and service to a greater good provide a stark contrast. Their emphasis on community and the common good, though achieved through brutal means, holds lessons for our own increasingly individualistic societies. The Spartans understood that true strength lay in unity and a shared sense of purpose. However, we must also acknowledge the dark side of the Spartan legacy. Sparta's story is a cautionary tale, reminding us that even the most successful societies can succumb to their own internal contradictions. Sparta, a city shrouded in myth and legend, continues to fascinate us centuries after its decline. Their story, a potent mix of military prowess, unwavering discipline, and brutal social customs, offers a glimpse into a world vastly different from our own. While we may admire the Spartans' courage, their dedication to duty, and their unwavering commitment to their city-state, we must also acknowledge the dark side of their legacy. Their reliance on slavery, their suppression of individual expression, and their brutal treatment of those they considered inferior serve as stark reminders of the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of individual rights. The Spartans, for all their flaws, continue to challenge us to examine our own values and to strive for a world where courage and discipline are tempered by wisdom and compassion. The enduring allure of Sparta lies not in glorifying their brutality, but in understanding how their story, both inspiring and cautionary, can illuminate our own path towards a better future.